We're talking about one thing today. What we're talking about today is enjoying life. Yes. Welcome to Contemporary Speaks. My name is Stephen, and we're going to have a wonderful podcast today. We're talking about one thing today. We want to reduce the topics so we can really address the topics in a better manner. And so what we're talking about today is enjoying life. And that seems simple, and it seems like something kind of easy, like enjoy life. But the reality is that many of us are dealing with so many different issues, mental health issues and things like that it's very difficult to enjoy life. And so we're going to talk about the process of enjoying life and what that's all about. So strap in. Let's have a good time. Let's get ready to go. Band, take it away.
Get ready for some positive, encouraging, inspiring information. But before we jump into this episode, I'd like to invite you to join this community to hear more episodes that will help you become healthier emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. All I want you to do is click on the subscribe button. We love your support, and it's incredible to see all your comments. And we're just getting started. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to us.
Surround me with all that you are. Hold me close. paradise to worship to your love. In paradise, oh paradise. In paradise, that's where we're going. In paradise, do you wanna go there? Yeah. In paradise, oh paradise. In paradise to worship to your love.
Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Good job. All right, guys. We're going to have a great time today. Thank you, guys. The band is awesome. I love that song. Just getting back to where you need to be at, right? And so enjoying life. Let's talk about that a little bit. Enjoying life. As I say that, it's easier said than done sometimes, enjoying life. And so I want to talk about some practical ways and some simple ways that we're able to enjoy life. And so I'm going to start with the scripture, Proverbs 17 and 22. And Proverbs 17 and 22, it says this right here. It says, a joyful heart is good medicine. A joyful heart is good medicine, right? But a crushed spirit dries up the bones. And so as you think about that, you know, if you think about what really dries us up inside or what really makes us miserable is a crushed spirit, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of things. And one of the first things I really want to talk about is what is wired together fires together. And this is big when I talk about that. What is wired together fires together, which means that I want to give you an example. Say we have a birthday party. But at that birthday party, you got a spanking. It was your birthday party, you got a spanking. And so every year at your birthday party, you somehow get a spanking on that day. And so what wires together fires together. So you start to associate your birthday as a bad day. You start to associate that when you have a birthday and everything is good, you start to wire in your mind, there's a connection between my happiness and also my disappointment. And so what is wired together fires together. And so when it comes to being happy, it can be those moments that you should be happy. Everything is going right, but you find those teeny tiny things to be upset about. Do you understand? So what is wired together fires together. Once you wire it together, it will fire together. Okay? It is someone who feels guilty for looking beautiful. It is someone who might smell good, but they feel guilty that they smell too good. Do you know what I mean? Like it's when it wires together, it'll start firing together automatically. And so this is the key is what we have to do is rewire our minds and rewire our consciousness so that when we are experiencing good times, that we don't look for negative ways to see things or negative outlook, right? And this is important because once again, the Bible is telling us that a joyful heart is good medicine, right? It is good medicine. It is medication for your body. Just to laugh a little bit, it brings your mood up and it just brings you in a different place, right? So here's another thing. People with high functioning anxiety at some point connect happiness or success to fear. So anytime things are going well, they get afraid. They become worried, right? Like things are, no, it's like you get a check in the mail. You know what I mean? You get a raise on your job. I mean, all these things start going well in your life. And immediately you say, okay, let's bunker down. Let's get ready for the storm. Let's get ready. And once again, it's because of your experiences. It's because of your experiences. And here's the thing that we've said in the past, and I'll say it again, your experiences shape your beliefs. Okay? You believe what you believe based on your experiences, and you have to understand that. So that's why we have to learn to rewire the way we think. So there is this thing called happiness anxiety. Happiness anxiety. And so when we're talking about enjoying your life and we're talking about happiness anxiety, it's like, do you allow yourself to be happy or when you are happy? I mean, do you know there's some people, when you start telling them about the good news or the good things that are going on in your life, the first thing they want to do is point something negative out. Well, you got to be careful. Hey, I'm doing keto and my life is really feeling great. Oh, you got to be careful with that. I hear you can get kidney failure from doing keto. There was an article. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they always are injecting something sort of negative in your positive picture. You're painting this positive picture. You're saying this is what's going on. And they immediately have to say, well, look, you have stones there that are in that picture. And so this is, once again, wiring and firing of the mind. And it's how we operate. It's like we can't just be happy and enjoy life. Okay? So there is this happiness anxiety. Many people suffer with the inability to celebrate their wins. Okay? They win, they do well, they're doing well, but they can't celebrate that. They're not happy about that. They can't celebrate their wins. Or they don't allow themselves to grow. That means they stay in the same place. And if you're going to rewire your mind, that is growth. You're allowing yourself to grow, to change, to adapt, and to become something different. The one thing that they say is you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. The good thing about the people of God is that we're not dogs, we're sheep. So, and we follow a shepherd. And so that mindset should not be in the people who are seeking the kingdom and people who are seeking to please God. We don't have that dog mindset, right, of an old dog that I can't learn anything. I'm going to be the way I am. I'm stuck the way I am. That's not true, right? And so here's another thing I want to talk about, benefits of being present in the moment. And so if you want to enjoy life, the way that you enjoy life is you are present in the moment. And when I say that, even now, are we present in the moment? Are we here? Are we here? Or is our mind somewhere else? Because there's your anxiety and there's your depression right there, is that you don't know how to be present in the moment. You don't know how to be in the room with what is going on in the room, which means that most people come into the room, but they're carrying their past experiences with them. So instead of being in the room with the people and laughing about what people are laughing about or engaging in what is happening in the room, you're bringing a totally different conversation into the atmosphere. Something that happened yesterday or 3 weeks ago or something that happened, before you arrived here or whatever that might be. And being present is very beneficial to your mental health. I'll talk about sort of like the benefits of being present in the moment. One is that it reduces stress and anxiety because it doesn't allow you to think about the past or the future. So it doesn't allow you to think about the past. Being present in the moment, you're not thinking about the past. You're thinking about the moment. And you're not thinking about the future. You're not worried about what is going to come or what is going to happen. You are present in the moment. You are thinking about where you are right now and enjoying that current moment. That's very difficult. It's very difficult. Enjoying your life is very difficult. And as you get older, it seems to be more difficult sometimes. Right? As you grow older, it seems that you worry about more or you're concerned about more. But if you could learn to shut off all of this past and all of this future worrying and just say, let me just enjoy the moment. Let me just be here right now in this room. Do you see what I'm saying? It will help you with your anxiety. Another thing, it improves emotional intelligence. So being present in the moment will help you improve your emotional intelligence. What I mean by that is it will give you a better understanding of your emotions and the negative things that come along with relationships in the moment. So when you're present in the moment, you're able to assess what's going on with you and what's going on with the other person. When you're present in the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when you're not present in the moment, you're kind of like, you go away from that moment and you think back and you're like, well, what did they mean by this? Or because you weren't present in the moment. You weren't really listening. You weren't really there. And I think that's the most difficult thing, is to come into a room and be there. To be where your body's at. Right? To be where your body's at. The goal is to allow your mind to exist in the same place that your body is at, right? And so that's kind of key, and bringing yourself to that. Another thing is that it boosts self-esteem. So being present in the moment boosts self-esteem. It's a great way to boost self-esteem because you know that you are alert, you are aware, you are thinking, right? Being in the moment is that you're able to catch everything. You're able to listen attentively. And you're able to actually say, okay, I hear exactly what you're saying because you are actually present in the moment, right? Not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, but just being here in this moment right now. Okay. And that's going to help you as well. So here's another thing. It improves your relationships with others as well. Because when you're present in the moment, then you're able to pay attention to the person that you're speaking to at that time. You know, how many times do we speak to people, but our mind is really on something else? So we're talking to them and you can just see, there's a song, it's written all over your face. You don't have to say a word, right? Like you're talking to people, but you can kind of see they're checked out a little bit. They're not really listening all the way. They're not really there. Or you could go into a room and you could see someone sitting in that room already and you could see that they're in that room, but their mind is not in that room. Their mind is somewhere else, right? So that right there is a good exercise in itself to practice just being in the moment, to be able to stay in that moment and being able to pay attention to actually what is going on the entire time. I mean, how many times do you listen to someone and while you're listening to them talk, within 2 minutes, your mind is already drifting. Your mind is already going in another direction, right? And so these kind of things are leading to our anxiety, leading to our depression, because we have no mind control, right? We have no, I would say, rails or guidelines or any willpower of the mind. That the mind just does whatever it wants to do. It thinks random thoughts. It goes wherever it wants to go. It pays attention for 2 seconds, and then it leaps to something else, and it thinks about, oh, look at his tie. It's not straight, or it's looking at something random, right? And so being in that moment and being able to stay present in the moment to listen and pay attention is huge. And here's the thing that I can tell you about that. You know your mind. And so, the Bible says that a mind that has no self-control is like a city that is broken down without walls. So it means it's like, anything can come in and out of that place. But you better than anyone else knows you. You know what's going on inside of your head better than anyone else knows what's going on inside of your head. And so it's up to you to sort of look and take an inventory of what is going on in your mind and say, I don't like this. These could be things that are giving you anxiety, just these thoughts, these random thoughts that come and go. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into this too as well. Another thing that is a benefit of being in the moment is it increases productivity. You can be more productive when you are in the moment and you're able to get more done because you're aware. Your mind is not drifting in and out of where you are or what the task is at hand. So being in the moment is key. And then the other thing, which is very important, is that when you're in the moment, the greatest benefit of that is that you're able to savor really the enjoyable experience of the moment. Do you know what I mean? When you're in the moment, you're able to, I don't know, sometimes it's if you take a walk through the park, or you're looking at the sunset, or you're at the beach and you're looking at the sun come up, or you're looking at the sun go down. You just want to sit there and just enjoy that moment. You really don't want to talk. You just want to sit there and just savor that moment and look at it and enjoy it. And that's the thing about life. I think that sometimes life passes us by so quickly and we forget to enjoy life. We forget to enjoy our children at 1 year old, right? At 2 years old, at 3 years old, at 4 years old, just enjoying that year that they're 5 or 6 or 7. And each year of their life that you're present and that you're in their life and you're able to enjoy and just take in the things that they're saying and the things that come out of their mouth, how interesting that is. But just being present is key. Just being present is key. So here's the thing about being present, and here's the thing about anxiety, depression, and things like that. Typically, a lot of us, and I'm guilty of this as well, you may be guilty of this, but typically what we do is we build a straw man fallacy about people. And I'll talk a little bit about that. A straw man fallacy is very important. And when I say that, many of us do this, but a straw man is not a real man. And so this means it is the image of a man. It is your design of a man that you've created. And many of us have what we call a straw image of people. It's not the real person. It's the straw image that I built about the person. Okay. And so I'll talk a little bit about that. And then this helps you, if you could stop building straw men for people, this will help you understand people and see people better and hear people better and listen clearer, right? And so I'll talk a little bit about this. The straw man basically replaces whatever is actually being said. So say your wife just cooked a meal and you say, man, I really do need to eat keto. I need to start eating ketogenic meal. Well, then the straw man that will be built in that moment will say, the wife may say, so you're saying the food that I made, you don't want to eat it. But that's not what is being said. What's being said is that I need to start eating healthier and I need to eat keto, not that what you just made, I don't want to eat. So that's how a person builds a straw man. It's called a straw man fallacy or straw man arguments. It's when you argue against points that are not really the points that are being made. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not what's really being said, but you're trying to, you either oversimplify, and I'll go through a couple of things, right? How people build straw man fallacies, right? One way is to take a point out of context. So you take what a person says and you take it completely out of context. And people sometimes are master at doing that, right? Like, oh, so you're just saying that I shouldn't wear any makeup. I just said that when you wear makeup, it damages your skin, and so you're just saying I should, and that's how you build your straw man. And let me tell you, I'm guilty of this. You may be guilty of this, but I'm telling you, your anxiety is attached to you building all these straw men. It's like every person in here, there's probably a person has built a straw man for every person that's in this room. So if I know you, and talking about Jeff, it's like, I know Jeff, but do I know Jeff, or have I built my own straw man of Jeff? Do you understand what I'm saying? So building these straw men it's what politicians do. When they get up and they debate, they're not really debating, it's like, oh, they're for crime. No one's for crime, but they're trying to make it look like this guy's for crime and he let someone out of jail and he's a bad person. And so that's how you build your straw man arguments. And many people do that constantly with everyone in their life. And if you could learn not to build these straw men and learn to see people for who they are, being in the moment, listening to what they're actually saying, this will help you also control some of your depression and your anxiety, because you'll get to a point where you'll feel like no one loves me. No one cares. Everyone's against me. Why? Because you've built some kind of false fallacy, some kind of understanding of people that's just not true. So tell your neighbor real quick, tell your neighbor over there, tell yourself, if you're watching this, stop building straw men. Stop building straw men, right? So one is that they take points out of context. The other thing is to ignore crucial information or critical information. So you're giving someone some information and they ignore it and they start to talk about something else. So it's like, no, you're not hearing what I said. I said this. And so this is how you build a straw man. The other thing is to exaggerate as well claims. So that means it's to take it totally to a different level. You know what I mean? It's like to just, and people are great at doing that. Like, I didn't say that either. Like, it's like, so you're just saying that everybody should. And that's how you start to build straw man. But when you really are in the moment and you're able to learn to listen and enjoy life and just hear people for where they are, you'll stop building these straw men, right? And then it's also to oversimplify, right? To oversimplify what is being said. People do that quite often. When they tell you back what you said, but they oversimplify it. So it's almost like, so basically you're just saying this. But it's still not exactly what you're saying. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's how you build straw men. And like I said, once again, a lot of people do that. I've been guilty of doing that as well, especially if I have an attitude. If I'm already a little ticked off, I'm not really hearing you well. And so I'm already thinking, oh, so you're saying this? So you're not saying that. You're saying this. And I just start building this straw man. The problem with building a straw man, it's kind of equivalent to voodoo, because it's like, you build this voodoo doll and you give it a name. And then you put pins in it and you do damage to it and you attack it. Well, that's what people do to your character when they built a straw man. When they built an image of you that is not real or not true, then they attack that character and that image, and they use things that you said out of context, or to an extreme or an exaggeration. And then they say, this is what this person believes, and this is what this person thinks, and this is what this person is saying. So it's kind of very interesting. But if you learn to stop building straw men, right, then you will learn how to not have so much anxiety and just enjoy the moment and enjoy your life. Just thinking about life right now, what is pressuring you? What is stressing you? Are you healthy? Do you have your health? Do you have food? Do you have clothes? Do you have a place to sleep tonight? Like, if you kind of think through some of these things a little bit, and then you say, well, then what will I be unhappy about? What are the things that are going to cause me to be depressed? What are the things that are going to cause me to be anxious? What are the things that I'm going to choose to worry myself about? There's a thing, I don't have it here in my notes. You can look it up, but there's some gene that they call it either the worry gene or the warrior gene. And the way it operates is that based on your ability to break down stress quickly, then that makes you a warrior. It makes it a warrior gene. But if you take a long time to break down stress when it's in your body, then that makes you a worrier. It's considered the warrior gene. And it's very interesting because we all have stress, but some people tend to break it down faster than others. Some, it tends to linger for days and weeks and things like that, right? So it's your ability to break it down that makes you a worrier or a warrior. It is your ability, not someone else's ability to come and talk to you and ease you and put your mind at ease, right? It is within you. You know what's going on within you. Do you deal with yourself? Do you deal with what's going on inside of yourself? So here's something I want to read. This is Luke chapter 13, 7 through 9. This is a very interesting scripture. It says right here that a man took care of a vineyard, right? And it says for 3 years, he's come and he looked for fruit in this vineyard, and he has found no fruit. And so he was saying to the tiller of the vineyard to cut down the fig tree because it's not producing fruit. And then the man says, no, let's give it 1 more year. I'm going to dig around this fig tree and I'm going to fertilize it. And then we'll see if it produces anything. If it does, good. If it does not, then cut it down. And here's the thing that I want you to look at when we're looking at the scripture is that sometimes we want to quit too soon because we haven't seen success in the first year or the second year or even the third year. It makes us want to give up, and it makes us want to quit or no longer believe in ourselves, right? Yeah, I tried keto. Well, how long did you do it? Did you do keto for 1 year? No, I didn't. How long did you do it? I did it for 30 days, or I did it for 28 days, or whatever it might be. I did it for 45 days, and then I stopped. So I don't think I can do keto. No, well, give yourself another opportunity, right? Start to dig around, dig a little deeper, and find out what could be in your soil or in your life that is causing you to sabotage your success, right? Like find out what are those things and start to get those things out and put more healthier things in, right? And so the thing is not to give up on yourself. I think that's what happens is that when we've tried for a year, I tried to join a gym. You tried for 1 year. You didn't even try for 6 months to go to the gym. And you're already giving up on yourself saying, I'm always going to be obese. I'm always going to be this way. Don't quit on yourself. And so here's the thing that I'll tell you. A healthy mind will heal a sick body. Now, what do I mean by that? Because it's deeper than what it sounds. A healthy mind will heal a sick body. What I'm saying here is not saying that, I have a healthy mind, I'm just going to pray and it's going to heal my body. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you have a healthy mind, it will heal a sick body. That means that a healthy mind will find strategies and ways to get out of this place of sickness. It will grow, it will adapt, it'll learn, it'll research, and it'll find a way out of sickness. Now, a sick mind will not. And what do I mean by that? That means that, say if for me, and this is just me, but say for me, sugar's bad for me. Sugar's bad for my diet. Well, a sick mind will continue to eat sugar. A sick mind will not make any changes. A sick mind is not going to try to find healthier ways to live. That means that the mind is sick, that's where you have to rewire your mind and you have to change your mind and you have to say, why am I poisoning myself and why am I eating things that are not good for my health? You understand that? One of the big studies that I was doing, and I don't have the statistics here, but one of the studies that I was doing was on fast food and how fast food restaurants lead to depression. Eating that type of food in fast food restaurants, even though it's a quick fix, it actually leads to depression because it's non-nutritional food. So it's food that tastes good, has no nutrition in it. So it's a great way to build depression in your children because if you could take them to these fast food restaurants and you can feed them this fast food because mom doesn't want to cook or dad doesn't want to cook, and you feed them this fast food constantly, it's a good way to build depression in your children at a very young age, right? Because there's no nutrition. Here's the thing that you have to realize about the body. The body is so sensitive that even the material that we put on our body affects our bloodstream and affects our body. That you can go to get red light therapy and they can put the red light therapy on your body and it changes the chemistry within your body. That's how important the body is. How much more the food that we consume. Though it tastes good, it's not good. So this is a sick mind that would put something in the body that is not good for the body. But a healthy mind will heal a sick body, which means I can acknowledge that I'm sick. I can acknowledge there's disease in my body. Now, what must I do to change? This is a healthy mind. So now you have to get the mind healthy if you're ever going to get the body healthy. Okay? And this is important, guys. What I'll say is that it starts with the way you think. It starts with your mind. Enjoying your life starts with how do you think about others and how do you think about the world and how do you think about people and all these different things. We know there's bad things that happen in the world. We know that there are people who do awful things in the world, but how does that impact our lives? What is that? How does that make us live? Does that make us shut down our benevolence and our love for other people because people are crazy or whatever we might think? We cannot shut down the greatest thing that God has given us, which is forgiveness and love and compassion for one another. We can never shut that down. And the thing that the Bible says and that Jesus said in the Bible is that in the last days, the love of many will wax cold. That means they won't really have compassion or love or forgiveness for other people. We want to forgive ourselves and we want other people to forgive us, but we are not so quick to love and to forgive other people. So we have to check ourselves because once again, a healthy mind will lead to a healthy body, a healthy lifestyle, a healthy whole being. And so you have to understand that. And so you have to start with yourself and work with yourself. What are the words that come out of your mouth? And when I say that, I think quite often on how God says life and death is in the power of the tongue. Those who love it eat the fruit thereof. That means that whatever you love, you're really feeding on. You could say you love life, but if you're still feeding on death, you don't love life. You could say you love life, but if you're still feeding on things that are killing and destroying the body, one of the things that I never forget is that the body was designed to live forever. Literally, when God created man, he created man to live forever. That's why he created the tree of life. All they had to do was eat off the tree of life and continue to live forever. That's why early on in the years, we see how Adam and all these other earlier generations lived so long because They could eat from every tree in the garden freely, which they could eat off of the tree of life freely, you see. And when they sinned, God put them out of the garden so they could no longer eat off of the tree of life. So your body was not designed for disease, to be sick, to be out of balance with how God created it. Your body wasn't designed that way. This is the direction we as man, have taken our lives and taken our body. So we have to think through a lot of those things and ask ourselves, what needs to change? What has to change in us? Is it our thinking? I think that's going to be the most difficult thing, is to heal the mind first. I want to get into this for a quick second so you'll understand this. What is spiritual? Spiritual is this right here. I want to talk about this for a quick second. Spiritual is when something can control something, but you cannot see what is controlling it. This is what is spiritual. So it's when something is controlling something, but you cannot see what is controlling it. I'll give you a very real scenario, right? Which is when the full moon comes, the parasites that live in your body are more active. So that's spiritual. That means that there's a full moon, which is, I think it's today, or is today or yesterday or last night. It's a full moon. And so when there's a full moon, typically most people cannot sleep well because the parasites that are in their body are more active. Okay? That's spiritual. That means that there's something that is controlling you that you don't know what's controlling you and why it's controlling you. But when you have parasites in your body and it's a full moon, these parasites become more active and you become a different person around a full moon. Very interesting, right? So spiritual is when something is controlling you that you cannot see. I would say that if I was sick and I prayed to Jesus to heal me, to Yeshua to heal me, and he touched me and he healed me, that would be spiritual. I didn't see him touch me. I didn't see him do anything, but he came in and he healed my body. So spiritual is something that is controlling you that you cannot see. This is spiritual. It is controlling you, but you cannot see it. You get what I'm saying? So this is deep. These are spiritual things. Then there's the physical things. The physical things that affect, it's a physical thing. I touched this, I drank this water, it hydrated me. This is a physical thing. But spiritual things are things that are controlling you. Like, how does the moon affect your sleep? This is how sensitive the human body is. So I'm saying all these things just to open up your mind to want to seek and understand what is going on with me. Why is my compassion drying up? Why is my desire drying up to do good? Why? What's going on with me? So to do a self-diagnosis is very key, right? And like I said, a lot of people who deal with chronic depression, daily depression, typically, people who are probably depressed because they are finding things to argue about daily, just something to bicker about, something to just complain about, something that is just not right. I got a problem with this. So-and-so left their dishes here today, or just something. You're just going to find some reason, do you know what I mean, to just be disgruntled. You know what I mean? Like, so, and it might not be the world. It might be, there's two worlds, the world without and the world within. It might be the world within. Both of them are affecting you. I agree. The world without affects you and the world within. So the environment around you affects you, but also the world within. What kind of world have you created within your mind, within you? What kind of place have you created within you? What is going on? Positive thoughts, happy thoughts. We can win. We will enjoy this moment. There's nothing to cry about. There's nothing to complain about. But the beach is closed. So what? We're still in Florida on vacation. The beach is closed because the tide is doing something and we don't want to drown. So yeah, it's fine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stop looking for the things to be sad about and start understanding life is short. Enjoy it. Laugh. Have fun. and enjoy the moment. So I have one major takeaway. One major takeaway. And it's pay attention to how you feel and why you feel and when you feel. I'll say that one more time. Pay attention to how you feel, why you feel, and when you feel. So I'll break that down. How do you feel when you wake up? How do you feel when you're around this group of people? How do you feel here or there? How do you feel? And then ask yourself why. Why do I feel that way? Did I create a straw man somewhere? What is going on? Why do I feel this way? Did they actually physically say something to me? No, they didn't. Did they actually physically do something to me? No, they didn't. So you question yourself, why do I feel this way? And third, when do you feel this way? Is it around the full moon? Is it around Friday night? Is it on Mondays? When do you feel most at odds with life? When? When do you feel this way? And try to track those things and redirect your life in a better way. That's all we got. I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining us today online. Thank you guys for joining us in-house. Ban, take it away.
They have set a trap for me, but the Lord delivered me. They whispered behind my back, but the Lord heard their plans. I wanted to quit, give up the race. My life seemed such a waste. I've come so close, still I feel so far away. Lord, deliver my soul. My heart is truly broken. No man can cure the hurt inside. Lord, heal my soul. I am truly crushed. You alone can give me joy. What I feel is so real. I wonder if I can ever heal. Lies and rumors encompass me. God, only you know what's real. I only want to please you. Pull me out of these ruins. There is more for me to do. Lord, deliver my soul. My heart is truly broken. No man can cure the hurt inside. Lord, heal my soul. I am truly crushed. You alone can give me joy. When the darkness comes, your word is alone, my true light. My lack of faith creates the rut. My cry so deep rise up. I reach beyond my fear and pain. I call your name. Your wisdom reigns, Lord. You always stand true. Lord, deliver my soul. My heart is truly broken. No man can cure the hurt inside. Lord, heal my soul. I am truly crushed. You alone can give me joy.
everybody. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of this community. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. You're going to get weekly videos on building a growth mindset, cultivating grit, and unlocking your full potential.